we're into the final match day of the Champions League phase. We've had a gazillion games, we've had a gazillion goals, but we're now down to the final 18 games. Yes, there is going to be 18 games played at the same time. If you're a betting guy, this is a dream. This is like euphoria for you. And if you're a football fan, how on earth are you going to pick some games to watch? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Which games are you going to be watching on the final match day? I'll give you games that I will watch, at least on the final match day, because they're all going to be played at the same time. So what we're going to do in this video is I'm going to break down every single game and the implication that has on the league phase. So we're going to talk about every single matchup, yes, including Young Boys and Czerwona Zvezda, because every game has a meaningful impact on the league phase or for certain clubs. So let's break down every single game. Aston Villa Celtic. I always love these sort of Premier League versus Scottish League matchups because it's always just like, I don't know, Scotland versus England, and then you have Aston Villa and Celtic, two very historic clubs. I love this matchup. Now, the problem for Celtic is Furuhashi left, and he went to join Stade. I don't know why he wanted to join Stade because he's joining a tattooed bulldog in Jorge Sampaoli, who's a terrible manager, but it's kind of a shame for Celtic, who are having a great campaign. They're already going to qualify to the knockout stages of the Champions League, which is an amazing achievement, and if they can win this game, they can push themselves higher up in the league table. While for Aston Villa, if they win this game, they're going to be most certainly a top 8 team in the Champions League and would progress automatically to round of 16. So this is kind of a big game for Aston Villa. This is a must-win for them. They do not want to go and have more extra games balancing that out with the Premier League. So I think for Aston Villa, this is a must-win game. And if Celtic can win it, Celtic win, they go all the way up to 15 points. Maybe they could get top 8, but then they would be at least having a home leg for the knockout round. So yeah, it's a big game. I'm intrigued to see what happens. I would fancy Aston Villa in this matchup, but Aston Villa Celtic, that's going to be a great game. Dortmund Shakhtar. For Dortmund, it's just about, hey, can you find some form? Can you win the game? Because this team is a mess right now. Dortmund have no style of play. Defensively are shocking. Yes, they have a lot of injuries, but Dortmund are just, they give up leads. They're losing to Bologna. They're losing to Holstein Kiel. I wouldn't be shocked if they lost to Shakhtar Donetsk. Now, Dortmund have a very good home record in Europe. Obviously, it was destroyed by Barcelona in that game, but still, Dortmund are a good home side. While for Shakhtar got to win this game because Shakhtar right now are outside of the knockout round positions. They're in 27th. I mean, they're on a -6 goal difference. They would need a miracle to qualify to the knockout round. But hey, they beat Stade Brestois the last game. So it wouldn't be shocking if Shakhtar got some points in this matchup. But Dortmund have to win. If Dortmund win this game, maybe they could get into the top 8. And they need some sort of form right now. They are so low on confidence. This is a must-win for both teams. Should be exciting in Dortmund. Then we got Barcelona and Atalanta. Both are right now in the top 8. Both are playing good football. Yes, Atalanta now finally won a game over Como over the weekend in Barcelona. I mean, this team is just addicted to scoring 5 goals or plus 5 goals. I don't know what it is with this side. They draw to Getafe. Obviously, it's their bogey team. Then they destroy Valencia. They destroy Madrid. They destroy Real Betis. I mean, Barcelona on their day are an extremely good team. Now, this is going to be a great matchup, though, because Atalanta, they want to play ball. Defensively can be a liability at times, but they got the weapons up front. Retegui in good form, Ademola Lookman to CDK. I think this is going to be, if you just want to watch like purely good football, this is the game to watch on the final match day. And for Barcelona, if they win the game, they're going to certify themselves as a top 2 finish, which would be good because then they would have the home leg throughout the entire knockout stages of the Champions League. That's what happens if you finish in the top 2. While for Atalanta, they got to win this game if they want to make it to the round of 16. If they lose, they could drop down to the knockout stages and go maybe 13th, 14th place in the Champions League. I think this is going to be a great matchup. I think Barcelona are favorites, but do not write off Atalanta because we have learned time and time again, you write this team off, they will punish you. If I had money, I would pay to watch this game. Bayern Munich, Slovan Bratislava. I'm going to say this right now, RIP the Slovan Bratislava because Bayern Munich are pissed off. They just lost to Feyenoord. They're going to probably put 8 past Slovan Bratislava. And Slovan Bratislava might be the only team in this entire league phase to have 0 wins, 0 draws, all losses. They're going to go for 008 at this moment in time. So yeah, I think this could be a massacre. We might see a massacre again in Munich. I think Bayern Munich might win like 7-1, 7-0. It's going to be bad, people. And Bayern Munich need to win this game. If Bayern win this game, because right now they're in 15th place. They're in 15th place. If they win this game, maybe they could get into the top 8, maybe depending on what happens in other games. But Bayern just got to know. They got to win and see what happens. But that game against Feyenoord was such a disaster from them. And then Slovan Bratislava, they're just fighting for pride. Because they just have no wins and no draws. If somehow Slovan Bratislava get a point in this game, That might be the most shocking result of this entire league phase. Not going to happen. They're going to win 7-0 Bayern Munich. Now, Stade Brestois and Real Madrid. You can do all the calculations for Real Madrid. Oh, maybe they can finish in the top 8. Maybe they can't. Madrid, they just got to win and hope they get into the top 8. They most likely won't because they need a lot in their favor for that to happen. But we've seen crazier things happen in football. I think this is going to be a game where you see Stade Brestois defend. This is probably their biggest game in their history. Of course, it's not in Brest, but at least it's near to Brest. But this is a massive moment for the club. Like, they're hosting Real Madrid in a Champions League game. And for Madrid, just got to win and hope you get into the top 8. Madrid should win this game because they are far superior to Stade Brestois, and I expect them to win. For Stade Brestois, look, they're right now 13th seed in the Champions League phase. Maybe they could get up to, I mean, if Stade Brestois win this game, can you imagine them finishing in the top 8? Like, that would be insanity. I don't see it happening. I feel like Madrid are going to win this game and get to maybe 10th, 11th seed in the league phase. Then we got Girona, Arsenal. Arsenal just got to keep on doing what they're doing. Defensively solid team. Get the 1 and 2 goals and you're fine. Because Girona, they're not a good side. They just have no attacking firepower. I mean, if you're going to trust Bryan Hill, okay, good luck, Girona. And I think Arsenal, they're going to comfortably win this game and they're going to solidify themselves in a top 3 finish. They're hoping that Atalanta can do them a favor so that Arsenal can finish in the top 2. That way, then Arsenal have a home tie for the second leg throughout the knockout stages. And I think Arsenal will win and they just got to hope Atalanta help them out. So yeah, it should be straightforward for Arsenal. Then Dinamo Zagreb and Milan. Now, Milan right now are in 6th place. As long as Milan win, they will finish in the top 8 positions. And for Dinamo Zagreb, they nothing short of a win. They have to win this game because they're 2 points behind Stuttgart, who are right now in the 24th spot. If Dinamo Zagreb win, that should be enough for them to make it to the knockout stages, which would be a crazy achievement considering how chaotic of a season it has been for Dinamo Zagreb, who are on their 3rd manager. Cannavaro is their manager right now. Now, can they shock Milan? We've seen teams lose to Zagreb in Zagreb. It's going to be a hostile environment. Obviously, Zagreb might be a little bit defensive in the beginning of the game, and then we'll take the game to Milan. While for Milan, they're just such a chaotic team as well. You don't know what to expect. You're going to get an entertaining game, but it's not going to be great for the hearts of Milan fans. I think Dinamo Zagreb, they could maybe shock. Look, Dinamo Zagreb have bounced back well since losing 9-2 to Bayern Munich. But this game, they know, okay, let's just keep it 0-0. Let's keep it low scoring. And then maybe in the last 30 minutes of the game, we can take the game to Milan. Because Milan's defense, you can score against them. Any team can score against Milan's defense right now. And Milan, they know they got to win this game. So this could be a sneaky, entertaining matchup. Keep an eye on Dinamo Zagreb Milan. I feel like Milan are going to win and make it into the top 8 of the Champions League phase after losing their first 2 games. Then we got Inter and Monaco. Monaco picking up some form, looking a little bit better. Akaluce scoring probably a Puskas winner, an unreal bicycle kick goal. And Inter 1-0, 1-0, 1-0, 1-0. Maybe they'll score 2 goals in this game. Do we see Inzaghi maybe rotating the team for this matchup? Most likely, because Inter right now are in 4th place. They would need, I feel like Inter are going to be fine even if they lose the game. And Inter should be finishing in the top 8. While for Monaco, no. If they win this game, Monaco finish in the top 8. So this isn't, it's not going to be the most entertaining of matchups because I know Inter are going to be very defensively solid. I feel like they're going to allow possession to Monaco and then going to hit them on the counterattack. We could probably see the likes of Taremi starting. I mean, who else could be starting? Maybe Tejan Buchanan, maybe. I doubt he'll probably come off the bench, but you could probably see some rotation from Inzaghi. And for Monaco, just take the game to Inter and see what happens. But they're just such a good defensive team, Inter, that it's very hard to break them down. And I feel like this is going to be another 1-0 victory and Inter solidify themselves in the top 8. Juventus and Benfica. I mean, this is a matchup of 2 teams that are in a mess. Benfica over the weekend lost to Casapia. And you saw Bruno Lage after the games complaining and saying, oh, I can't play these guys because the president, Rui Costa, will say this and that. I mean, right now we're basically having an episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, but it's a Lisboa episode. What is going on with Benfica and Bruno Lage? Like, they have the talent, but they can't find any consistency. They should have won the game against Barcelona. You're 4-2 up. Don't complain about the referee. You're 4-2 up. Win the game. And then Juve, they finally lost the Serie A game. So, what do you think is going to happen in this game, people? You know what's going to happen. 1-1 draw. I mean, it's going to be a 1-1 draw. And both teams, Juve have to win this game to at least get into a 9th to 12th place position in the standings. While for Benfica, they got to be careful. Because if they lose this game, and the likes of PSG Stuttgart draw, and Sporting win their game, plus Man City winning their game, Benfica could be out. So I can imagine all Benfica fans are going to have the They're going to have the game on the TV. They're going to have then the table, the live table on their phone, and they're just going to pray they make it into the top 24. And for Juve, they got to bounce back. You had a horrendous second half performance against Napoli. Now this game, you got to show up in Turin. It's going to be interesting to see how this game goes down. I feel like it's going to be 1-1, and that's going to be enough for Juve to make it to the knockout stages, even though they're already qualified. But they don't really have a chance of getting to the top 8. Well, for Benfica, maybe a 1-1 is going to be enough to make it to the knockout stages. But man, this team, it's a mess, man. It's such a chaotic season in Liga Portugal. I'm loving it, but if you're a Benfica fan, you got to hope now you bounce back. And Juve, they got to get a win here to get some confidence back into this team. Thiago Motta, it's got to be more brave with this tactics. Bayer Leverkusen, Sparta Praha. Look, Bayer Leverkusen will win this game. I mean, Sparta Praha had a great start to the Champions League and have faded away drastically. Bayer Leverkusen, no, they win this game. They're in a top 8 position. They're going to do it. Yeah, they had a bit of a chaotic draw against RB Leipzig over the weekend. They're going to bounce back and win 4-0 and solidify themselves in the top 8 position. While for Sparta Praha, they're just fighting for pride at this moment. And a sneaky game is Lille versus Feyenoord, because Lille and Feyenoord are both 11th and 12th in the standings. Both teams know if they win this game, they can make it into the top 8, which would... Feyenoord, after losing to Bayer Leverkusen, having the crazy draw with Man City, beating Bayern Munich, if Feyenoord finish in the top 8, Brugge is under the cosh right now. I mean, he's deflecting everything. He's deflecting the missiles, the gunshots, the grenades, not to get sacked. So if Feyenoord can pick up a win here and to finish in the top 8, you can't sack him. I'm sorry. The manager got you in the top 8 position, which would be crazy. Santi is still there. We'll see if Santi is still at the club after this game, because there's all the rumors with Milan. After Lille, they need to bounce back after losing to Liverpool last time out in the Champions League. They're at home, very hostile crowd in Lille. I think Lille are going to take the game to Feyenoord. You know, Lille and Feyenoord are a very good attacking team. Defensively, they showed up against Bayern Munich because obviously Abelio was unbelievable in the game. But Feyenoord are still a liability defensively. While for Lille, maybe not the greatest attacking power, obviously heavily reliant on Jonathan David, but defensively, they're a solid team. I feel like this game is going to be like a 1-1, 2-2 draw. I can't pick a winner here, and it's going to be enough for both teams, obviously, maybe to finish 13th to 15th. But if either of these teams win, they're going to be in the top 8, which would be a great achievement for either side. So yeah, that's a game to watch in my opinion. Then the big game is Man City Club Brugge. Man City know all they have to do is win this game. Man City win this game, they're in the knockout stages of the Champions League. Even if they draw, it is not enough. Man City are 2 points behind Stuttgart, who currently have the 24th spot. It's all about a win here for Man City. And you're going up against the Club Brugge team, who are no joke, right? And Club Brugge, I saw over the weekend, rested a lot of players. They've only scored 6 goals in 7 games in the Champions League, only conceded 8. And 3 of those were against Dortmund. I think it was the first or second match day of the Champions League. Club Brugge, these guys are no joke. Defensively solid. Mignolet, Joel Donetsk, beast of a center back in my opinion. Then you still got the likes of Jolis, to obviously Jutgla, to a lot of these guys. And then Van Aken, the experienced Champions League player he is in the midfield. I think Club Brugge could upset here. Yeah, Man City picked up a win over Chelsea over the weekend. I mean, Robert Sanchez is just an awful goalkeeper. And Man City, obviously, I think they played quite well in the first half. Givardio had a couple of good chances. Second half was a little bit... You could say it was a little bit nervousness in the crowd and with the players. And then all of a sudden, they picked it up and won the game eventually because of Robert Sanchez. So I think Man City, you get that sort of win, bounce back. But you need to bounce back in this game and win. There's nothing else. Man City have to win this game. I feel like they're going to win this game. And Club Brugge could be still... It's going to be enough for Club Brugge. They will advance to the knockout stages. But I'm intrigued to see how Man City are going to react. If Man City go 1-0 down in this game, are their heads down? Because yes, this team gained some confidence over the weekend, but it's not a fully confident Man City team that we have seen in the past couple of seasons. So this is going to be a fascinating game to see how it develops. If it goes 0-0 further on in the game, you're going to see a frustrated Man City and maybe a very resilient Club Brugge. But I feel like it's going to be 2-0 for Manchester City. But do not sleep on Club Brugge. They could upset the apple cart here and knock out Manchester City. If they did that, Club Brugge would be everybody's second team. PSV and Liverpool, I feel like Liverpool are going to heavily rotate in this game. They're going to finish in the top 2 positions regardless of anything that happens. And for PSV, at least they beat Cervano Zvezda, because if they didn't beat Cervano Zvezda, then this would turn into a must-win game for PSV. Still a must-win game to finish higher up in the league phase and then obviously have a home leg for the knockout rounds. I think PSV, very good home team, suspect away from home. They're not a good away team. Going to concede goals. I can feel like this is going to be a very high-scoring game. You have two Dutch bald managers, Peter Bosz against Arne Slot, very familiar with each other. So I feel like Liverpool, we could probably see the likes of Chiesa to start this game, other players, give some rotation. Maybe Konate is going to be on the bench, and PSV are going to take the game to Liverpool. And PSV, one thing they have is a lot of attacking firepower. The defense, though, Flamingo's out as well. He got the red card against Cervano Svesta. I feel like this game is going to be high scoring. I can see this being like 2-2, 3-3. RB Salzburg, Atleti right now in the top 8 position, and I expect them to win this game easily. RB Salzburg are terrible. They're just terrible. And yeah, Atleti should be winning this game. Yeah, they dropped some points against Villarreal and other teams in La Liga. They obviously lost to Leganes, but I think Atleti will bounce back. Maybe we could see some rotation from Simeone. This is going to finish 4-0, 3-1. It's going to be an easy game for them, and they get a top 8 finish right there. Sporting Clube de Portugal against Bologna. Look, Bologna, Bologna are no joke anymore, people. Bologna now finally got their first win against Dortmund. Now they're really improving under Vincenzo Italiano. I like the way Bologna play. I love Castro, by the way. The striker is a great player, and I feel like they're going to try and upset Sporting here. Bologna have nothing to play for. They're out of this competition. They're just playing for pride, and Sporting, they have to win this game. And Sporting at least picked up a victory over the weekend in Liga Portugal, but right now they're in the 23rd position of the league phase. Remember when Sporting were in the top 3? Now they dropped all the way down to 23rd. Are Sporting going to feel the pressure? Because they know they got to win this game. Are they going to feel the pressure and then buckle under the pressure? Or will Gyökeres and Trincao and these sort of guys rise to the challenge? I feel like Gyökeres will. The defense has to do better, especially because that RB Leipzig performance was so bad. I mean, so bad. For a team that had to win the game, for Sporting to perform like that was horrendous. So I feel like Sporting are going to win this game. Maybe we could see Bologna rotate. Who knows? Who knows how Italiano is going to approach it? Sturmgras, RB Leipzig. It's just for pride. Germany against Austria. RB Leipzig, terrible team still. I have no trust in them. Sturmgras, fighting for pride. Very good home side in the Champions League. Away from home, not so much. Feel like it's going to be maybe an entertaining game, but there's nothing to play for in this matchup. Stuttgart PSG. Now, we all praised PSG last weekend. Wow, great performance against Manchester City. Maybe they're going to now a team you should not want to play against in the Champions League. But if they lose this game, PSG, and everybody else around them, if Sporting win, Man City win, PSG are out of the Champions League. So while we can praise PSG all we want, and we definitely should have because of the performance they put up against Manchester City, they got to win this game. They got to. And Stuttgart, yeah, they lost over the weekend, but they've had some good form recently in the Champions League and the Bundesliga. And now that Undorf is back, I think that was the missing piece in this team. Undorf was such a critical player for them last season. Now that he's back healthy, that's going to be a big boost for Stuttgart. I think this game is going to be really entertaining because Stuttgart are not a team that just sit back and defend. No, they will take the game to PSG. For me, this is going to be a must-watch. I think this is the game that everybody should be watching. You should be watching PSG Stuttgart, Man City Club Brugge, Barcelona Atalanta, and I would say Juventus Benfica. Those are the games to watch during this Champions League round. Stuttgart, they could upset PSG. And for PSG, just play your same game. Let's see if Gonzalo Ramos is going to start. Let's see if Luis Enrique is still going to go with Desiree Doué, Barcola, and maybe now Dembele, because he's going to hopefully be fit for this game. I think it's going to be entertaining. Do I pick a winner? Not really. It's tough to pick a winner between Stuttgart and PSG. Obviously, PSG fans should be very confident heading into this matchup because of the way they played. But their performances away from home in the Champions League haven't been the greatest. Right? Okay, yeah, they beat RB Salzburg. Everybody can beat RB Salzburg at the moment because they're terrible, right? So how will PSG approach this game? And then Young Boys and Cervano Svesta, nothing to play for either sides. Young Boys are just hoping not to go 0-0-8 in the Champions League. Maybe they will win this game, draw this game, and then Slovan Bratislava will be the only side with no wins, no points at all. And yeah, Cervano Svesta playing for pride. Let's see what happens there. But that's the entire roundup of the final match day of the Champions League. It's going to be entertaining. 18 games at the same time. Which games are you going to be watching on the final match day? For me, I'm going to watch Juventus Benfica, Stuttgart PSG, Club Brugge, Manchester City, and of course Liverpool as well. Those are probably 4 games I will be watching. 4 games at the same time. Oh boy, it's going to be wild. But everybody, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Which games are you most intrigued in? And remember, on Thursday, we'll be having the live review of the final match day of the Champions League, looking at everything that happened on the final match day in every single game. Remember to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new around. Remember to follow me on all the socials. You can find those links in the description down below. But have a beautiful day. Stay safe in this crazy world. Till next time. Adios.